Hey, I'm Hannah, nutrition coach. And one question that I ask a lot of my clients during their initial consultations is, are you an all or nothing type person, or are you more of a everything in moderation type person? If you're all or nothing, then unfortunately, your long-term nutrition game is going to be a bit more challenging. You're going to be more likely to, lose the weight, gain it back, diet during the week, then go crazy over the weekend. And of course, none of that really sets you up for long-term success, which is what I'm assuming you and most people want. And so one mindset shift that can be a huge game changer and help with all of this is this. It's aim for just a little bit better. Now, this is something that I learned from Precision Nutrition, and it's also something that I keep in mind for my own nutrition if I get overwhelmed, but definitely something that I think about with any clients that are struggling to move forward. So even if you wouldn't consider yourself an all or nothing person, but you're just struggling to be consistent, this could be super helpful. And the way to really think about this and apply it is you can ask yourself, okay, what's an easy step that I can take that is just a little bit better than what I'm doing now or how I'm eating now? And yes, this is not, the sexiest way to think. It's not the most exciting approach. And of course, it's easier said than done. But I promise the more you can think about this, keep it in mind, and then actually take action on it, the easier it will be to let go of that whole all or nothing, I have to eat perfectly, or what's the point mentality. So I'll give you a couple examples of how you could use this in the real world. So example number one, let's say you've got a crazy job and a lot of days on the way home from work, you just go to a fast food restaurant and grab dinner. And let's say that you tend to feel somewhat guilty about this. And so you often think, all right, next week I'm going to go to the grocery store, I'm going to get some salmon and broccoli, and then I'm going to, have to figure out how to make it so that my family actually likes it and will eat it. And that whole guilt-inducing, overwhelming thought train, right? So rather than going on that path, you could think, okay, what's a place that I could go to that is just a little bit better than what I've been eating now? And so maybe rather than a conventional fast food chain, maybe you try going to Chipotle or Panera Bread or something like that. You could even go to the grocery store and get a rotisserie chicken and those pre-made sides from the deli. So anything that can make it less overwhelming and just move you forward. So example two is, let's say you struggle to make time to make breakfast in the morning, so you're always rushing to work. So you usually just grab a bagel at home or at work. And let's say that somebody like me tells you that eating some protein at breakfast will be super helpful in reaching your goals. So you get excited and you go make this beautiful egg scramble with tons of veggies, and you do that a couple times, and then you realize that it's just not sustainable for you right now. So rather than continuing to try to do that and fit it into your schedule, you could think, all right, what's a simpler way to start getting some protein in with my breakfast? So maybe you do those pre-portioned Greek yogurt cups where you can just grab and go and bring one to work for days that you're running late. Maybe you boil some eggs at night. So again, you can grab and go. Maybe you even keep some protein powder as a backup option for mornings that you don't have any eggs prepped and you've run out of yogurt. So again, maybe it's not your ideal perfect breakfast, but it's still something that moves you forward. It still helps you start developing some habits to think about how to get more protein in your breakfast. Now the last example is maybe you struggle with meal prep. Now this is a big one. I know a lot of people struggle with this one, myself included. So if you feel like you've got to do this huge marathon meal prep Sunday for 3 hours, or you end up doing nothing, there's so many steps you can take that's in between those two ends of the spectrum. So one step you could take is, rather than trying to make all your food for the week, you can think about what's one meal I can make that I know is easy, that I can get 2, 3, 4 servings out of. And just by doing that one meal, it's going to help you streamline your processes and build habits to then do more meal prep from and start making more meal prep whenever you do it. And other things you can do that could make it simpler might be doing like pre-cooked meat, A lot of places will have a pre-cooked like chicken or turkey burgers. There's the rotisserie chicken, like I just mentioned. And then you could also look for foods that are pre-cooked but frozen. Trader Joe's has stuff like that, like brown rice or grilled asparagus that you can heat up just super quick. And then you can also think of things like, okay, what are some vegetables I like raw so that I don't even have to prep those? So again, it's more just about how can I make this simpler and easier on myself rather than getting overwhelmed and not doing it. So again, it's not about being perfect. It's about actions that not only move you forward, but feel 100% doable. That's really the key, because as long as they feel doable, then you won't get burnt out and overwhelmed, and you'll be able to keep building on them to move forward. And so again, just remember, aim for just a little bit better. And so because I believe this is such an important concept and really one of the keys to long-term consistency, I've created a nutrition challenge that is not your typical challenge. It really helps you retrain your brain to let go of that all or nothing mentality and take it one meal, one step at a time to keep moving forward. And it's called the Paleo Wish Challenge. And depending on when you're watching this, I'm going to be doing another round with a group coming up this fall in October. So keep an eye out for that. And if you want more info for right now, you can go to thepaleowishchallenge.com. And Paleo Wish is just spelled Paleo-ish. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. And now go out there and be just a little bit better.